Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shaka and I welcome you to my channel. I appreciate your support, your comments, your subscriptions, and all of your awesome energy on this channel. I think that's what makes it ultimately the best channel or such a great channel, is because of you guys, because of the energy you guys bring into it. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about knowledge and how I believe we need to be ready to receive a certain nugget of wisdom in order to actually use it properly. Because there's such a lot of information coming at each human being on this planet all the time. We live in an information age. We live in a technology-filled age where we can go online and Google something in a matter of seconds. We'll have hundreds of thousands of results and an inundation of information about that particular topic. And so in a world like that, where information is available so easily, you would imagine that every person would have all of this knowledge inside of their head, and not only that, they would be using all that knowledge in order to enhance their lives. But I really believe from my own experience is that when I have received information in the past, if I have not been ready for it, it's as if the information doesn't even exist, right? It's like the universe is maybe telling me that information, or a person beside me is telling me something important, and they really know that it's important because they've already accepted the knowledge and inculcated it within themselves. And they're trying to tell me that this is important, and they really want me to get it because they know that it will change my life. I'm the same way with meditation. I got the message of meditation many times in my life since I was 16 or 17 years old, but I ignored it because I wasn't ready for it. And then all of a sudden, at the age of 24, 25, it kind of lit up a light bulb in my head, and I started meditating. And it was just a part of my life. I could not let it go. And now I'm that person who's always telling people, you need to meditate, you need to meditate. And some people will be in the right space of time and mind to get that knowledge and to use it, and they'll start meditating. And some people are not ready yet. They're just not there yet because they are not in the right space of time or mind, or they're just not ready to receive that wisdom because they still have a little bit of growing up to do, or they just don't have the space for it. Whatever it might be, there's so many different reasons for it. And it doesn't have to do with a negative reason. It's not that they're not perfect in some way, that's why they're not able to accept it, or that they are lower than you in some way, that's why they're not able to accept it. That's not the reason. It's just not the right time for them, right? But when it is the right time, all of a sudden you'll hear the same message. I heard the same message over and over again about meditation, and it's as if it was white noise. I didn't even hear it. I pretended, it was as if it didn't exist in my dimension, in my realm. And then when I was ready for it, when the message came, even a tiny little bit, in a soft, quiet voice, it doesn't really matter. They didn't have to yell it out at me. Even quietly, they told me about it, and I was ready for it, and I accepted it, and I was able to start meditating. And this has happened to me, as I said, several times in my life, where I've been reading something, I've been reading about something many times, or I've heard it from other people many times, or I've been, the universe has been sending me messages about certain things over and over again. I just don't get it. Either I don't hear it, or I don't understand it, or I don't think it's important, and I just ignore it. Right? But as soon as I'm ready, and it takes a few years sometimes, it takes a few months, a few weeks, a few days, whatever it might be, a certain amount of time passes by, a certain amount of wisdom is accumulated, a certain amount of changes happen in me and my body and spirit, and all of a sudden that message that was white noise becomes absolutely crucial, and you start doing it. I would say there's so many examples, but one example that comes to mind is tongue scraping. You guys have probably you guys have heard of it as well. It's basically the idea that, when you wake up in the morning, your body has been detoxing all night long. That's what the body does. That's the reason why we need to sleep at 10 p.m. and wake up around 6 a.m. Though that is the perfect ideal time for your body. From 2 to 4 a.m. I think is major detox time, right? So your liver is really working hard, your digestive system is really working hard, in that period of time at night in order to detoxify yourself, in order to remove toxins, in order to clean yourself out from the inside out. And so when you wake up in the morning, there is this thin layer of bacteria on your tongue that is the process, that is the result of that process of detoxification. That is the reason why your tongue is covered with that layer. And usually what we do is we just brush our teeth and we think it's fine, right? And I thought the same thing for the longest time. But I recently started scraping my tongue. So basically I use a stainless steel scraper and I just scrape off that white residue and throw it away, obviously, like rinse it off. And I do that several times and just remove all of that white residue because it's toxic. You don't want to swallow it, obviously. You don't want to bring it back into your body. You want to let it go. You want to remove it from your body. But I heard about tongue scraping many times before. I mean, I've heard about it for a long time now. As soon as I got into yoga, that's the first thing that people tell you is that yes, you're detoxifying your body using yoga, but tongue scraping is another awesome way to detoxify your mouth and your face and your sinuses and all that. And so I heard it a billion times. I never used it. I didn't care about it. I did not listen to it. I was just impervious to it. And then all of a sudden, a month ago, I heard about it again. And I realized that I was always feeling the sensation in my mouth, no matter how many times I brushed my teeth, that my mouth was dirty. I just felt like my mouth was dirty. I could not get over that sensation, right? And so I thought maybe it's not because my teeth are unclean or my gums, but it's because of my tongue, and I'm not really doing anything for it. Even if I brush my tongue, it doesn't really help. And so I decided, all right, let's try tongue scraping. And just a couple of times, and I felt such a big difference in my mouth. It was so much cleaner. I would say it's like day and night difference, okay? Now, this video is not about tongue scraping, but it's about the idea that even though I heard that message for 10 years, for 10 years straight, I was a yogi, right? I did my yoga teacher training. And so they started talking about it when I was there in my yoga teacher training. And they've been talking about it, and I've been reading about it and hearing about it for 10 years now. I would say 8 to 10 years. But it did not resonate with me. It did not hit the right note for me. And so I did not listen to it, and I did not incorporate it into my daily routine. All of a sudden, I'm 35, and I sit down and I listen to the message, and it hits the right note. It hits the right resonance within me. And all of a sudden, I'm doing it without effort. I bring it into my routine, and I don't think of it, oh God, I have to scrape my tongue. I think, yeah, awesome. I get to clean my tongue out. I get to clean out my toxins. I'm going to be cleaner. My liver is going to have to work less hard. I'm so excited. It's actually like a fun thing for me now because I really truly realize the impact of it on my body, and I see the difference in my body. I see that my tongue is clearer, my eyeballs are wider, my face is clearer. I feel a difference in my body and my energy levels because of it as well. Because these toxins are not just sitting in my body, they're expunged from my body using this one little technique. So simple, but so powerful, right? That's why I love it so much, I think, at the moment, because I'm really into simple but powerful ideas right now. But the basic essence of this video is that the reason I'm doing it is because we have this idea as individuals that we want to help people around us. We want to change them. We want to give them good ideas. And that's a great thing. I mean, that's a good thing. You're trying to be kind and generous to the people around you. You want to change them. You want to help them. You want to help them grow. But if they're not ready for your message, no matter how many times you give that message to that person, they're not going to hear it even. They're not even going to be able to hear it. It's just going to be white noise to them, right? And you probably can think of instances in your own life where perhaps your parents were telling you something as a teenager and you just kind of ignored it completely. And a few years later, when you were in your 20s, you realized, wow, that was great wisdom if I'd only listened to it. And if I hadn't just been such a teenager, then it would have been so much better. But you weren't ready for it. You have to be ready for the message in order to use it, in order to be able to incorporate it into your life. And so don't get frustrated with the people in your life. If you're trying to give them a great idea, or if you're trying to change their life in a certain way, don't be frustrated if they don't do it. I do hundreds of videos, and I know that hundreds of people listen to it, but I know that out of the hundreds of people that listen to it, maybe one or two will actually hear it at the right time. and they'll be able to incorporate it into their life. And those 1 or 2 people are the ones that I'm going for. I'm glad that everyone's listening to the messages, but perhaps they're just not ready for it, and that's fine. That's not the point of giving them the message. I'm not giving these messages so everyone changes. I mean, obviously that's the hope, but I know that's not going to happen. I'm just giving out the messages so that one day in the future, perhaps you'll listen to it and it'll hit the right note and boom, you're going to change your life, or you're going to change that particular habit, right? It might take you a long time to get there, and that's totally fine. I'm constantly talking about meditation, meditate. And eventually, one day, it's going to resonate with you guys, and you're going to do it, right? Perhaps it's already resonated with you guys, and you started doing it already. But that's the point of it. It's repetition. You just keep on hearing the messages over and over again. And eventually, at one point in your life, when you're ready for it, all of a sudden it clicks, and you're able to move and add that habit or idea into your life and absolutely change and transform your life. All right? But unless you're ready, it's not going to happen. Okay? And that's the same thing if your partner or your friend or your family member is not ready, they're not going to change. Don't beat your head against the wall. Give them the idea and then step back. And that's it. You've done your duty, you've done your role, and then the universe will take care of it. Eventually, they will hear the message enough times that they'll be able to listen to it without it being white noise. Okay. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope I was able to explain myself to you. It's an important message not only for the person who's giving out the message, but also the one who's receiving it. It's okay if you're not ready to receive the message, and it's okay if your friend or family member is not ready to receive the message as well. Just timing. It's all about timing and resonance. If you have any questions about this video or any other video topics, please message me by emailing me. My email address is in the description below. And if you guys want to support me further, I do have a Patreon account, and you can go check that out and support me in that manner. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.